It's the 2021 Russian Grand Prix. We move away from the crazy Monza to the Sochi Autodrome. Just 8 races left then on this crazy campaign. The Russian Grand Prix this weekend. 2 weeks' time, we move over to Turkey, now confirmed to be going ahead. Then it's the United States Grand Prix on the 24th of October that will also host the double header of the W Series season finale. Mexico starts off a triple header with Brazil a week later and a to-be-confirmed race, which is the Qatar Grand Prix. Expect announcement of that in the coming weeks. Saudi Arabia and Abu Dhabi round out the season on the 3rd to the 5th of December and the 10th to the 12th of December. In terms of the Drivers' Championship, Max Verstappen leads the way by just 5 points to Lewis Hamilton, 226.5 to 221.5. Bottas is ahead of Norris after both of them having podiums last time out in Monza. Perez remains P5, he's just holding off Charles Leclerc. Carlos Sainz isn't too far back. Victory in Monza puts Danny Ricciardo firmly into P8 ahead of Pierre Gasly and Fernando Alonso, rounding out the top 10. Esteban Ocon is on page 2 in 11th place. He's 10 points clear of Sebastian Vettel. Lance Stroll is on 24 points. Yuki Tsunoda 14th on 18, but George Russell 15 for 15 at the moment. Nicholas Latifi has 7, Kimi Raikkonen has 2, back this weekend as well. Antonio Giovinazzi, the last point scorer with only 1 point to his name. No points for Schumacher, Kubica or Mazepin, who's now last overall with still no points and the worst results of the season so far. In the Constructors' Championship, Mercedes have opened up a gap to Red Bull Racing, 362.5 to 344.5. McLaren have 215, they're now well ahead of Ferrari, but still could be closing down. Alpine and AlphaTauri battling over as well. Aston Martin 7th and a little bit of a field of their own. Williams now securing 8th place. Alfa Romeo only have 3, and Haas still with no points on the board. It's the 2021 Russian Grand Prix, and this is the first practice session. For 108 years, this land of Russia has been dominated by one engine manufacturer. In 1913 and 1914, it was Benz. That became Mercedes. And ever since 2014, it has been dominated by the silver, now black Arrow. Hamilton and Hamilton, Rosberg, Bottas, Hamilton, Hamilton, Bottas, the winning order. And around this circuit as well, just a 3.634 miles. Elevation change minimal at 1.9 metres as well. It has had a couple of action zones over the years. Palmer and Grosjean coming together in 2017 as well. That put Grosjean into the wall, and Palmer in his last ever race back there in 2017. 2020, turn 4, safety car came out lap 1. Leclerc touching with Stroll. Stroll out of the race with a broken rear suspension. And down at turn 13, Albon versus Giovinazzi last year. Albon going right round the outside. A fantastic manoeuvre in a difficult part of the track that was actually replicated last night on BBB Sports. In terms of tyre compounds, it's the hardest and the softest as we've got this weekend as well. It is C3 for the hard, C4 the medium, C5 the soft. However, with a 100% chance of rain tomorrow, watch out for the blue wet and green intermediate tyres as well. 5 different drivers are starting for pole position here at Sochi. Rosberg and Hamilton, the only drivers who are taking multiple poles. Rosberg in 15 and 16, Hamilton 14 and 20. However, Ferrari had a 1-2 here on the grid. Red Bull here look to repeat that this weekend as well. Let's see what could happen as we get ready as well. Sky Sports, though, despite it being now over a couple of weeks since their headsets were supposed to be repaired, they've still got the same ones as well, so I presume they're sticking with them. But we're all set then. Ian Birch alongside me in the commentary box for the first practice session of the day as well. An hour earlier, but it's actually in Russia an hour later than they used to as well. How much is that going to affect them for their track time out there on the track?
I don't think anything really. It's they've adjusted to the time, aren't they? It's not like Singapore where you try and keep on European time. It mainly affects the people like us, and you know, it's one of those things. I don't know. It may affect them the fact that it's just coming up to 11 o'clock there, isn't it?
Yeah, 11 o'clock coming up to there.
Well, 11:30.
Yeah.
Do they do the half an hours over that?
Yes,
in
Sochi. Yeah, 11:30 coming up.
11:30. Well, what I mean by that is some in that area are on the half past the hour when we're on the hour.
Like for North Korea, they're 5 hours and 30 minutes ahead of us.
They're 35 years behind.
Yes, that's a good point. But Kim Jong-un didn't want to be on the same timeline as South Korea, so he moved it half an hour later.
Wasn't he educated in London?
Was he?
Yeah, I think he must miss EastEnders.
Look at that there.
He probably gets it beamed into him.
McLaren ending a 170 race drought as well by winning the Italian Grand Prix, a 1-2 for the first time since Canada in 2010 as well. It's nice when I look over on the only notes that actually printed out as well that I stuck on the wall. The driver track map isn't printed. The constructors and drivers championship aren't either. Everything seems to be failing as well in here. But I have got my own little notes. It's nice to see Danny Ricciardo highlighted as one of the winners this year alongside Hamilton, Verstappen, Perez and Ocon. Ricciardo becoming the 5th, but McLaren becoming the 4th team to take victory this year.
And a 1-2.
2020. Yes.
That's the main thing. A 1-2. McLaren are back.
And it was on pure pace.
It wasn't, Danny Rick was in the lead before the crash.
Yeah.
Right? Would he have kept in the lead? I doubt it. But,
it was possible he could have.
But he did win on merit.
Yeah. Completely, that was a merit thing. And look at that, the championship, only 5 points. Even though Hamilton Verstappen scored nothing in the race last time out, Verstappen scored 2 points in the sprint qualifying.
What I can't understand is, I know you never get Formula One drivers or any racing driver to admit they were wrong and things like that. But and we've Ants looked at it in freeze frame by frame.
Yeah.
And they don't actually touch until the wheels connect at the back.
Yeah, what actually happened was, coming up as well, it was Verstappen getting launched off the sausage curb.
The first thing that
put him off into the back of Hamilton.
The first thing that Max said was, "That's what you get when you don't give me room." Right? How much room did he need?
And he didn't give much room, did he, Verstappen? Lap 1 at the Dalla
Everybody is in agreement that if Lewis had closed the gap, how Max was saying,
he would have been alongside.
He would have had to back out and go over the sausage curbs, and the accident would never have happened.
Yeah.
And they would have things. These people who turn around and says, "Oh, well, Lewis should have backed down." Lewis has backed down every time.
Yeah, every time he's
backed down. You know, Max can't do this. I know he's married to, engaged to a PK, right? But shouldn't drive like a PK.
The accident actually was resulting in Max Verstappen getting a 3-place grid penalty for this race as well. Hey, look, the driver track is working first time, so they've obviously learned from last time out. Now, this is how it works.
That's unfair on Nelson, because Nelson has, he will say himself that the aggressiveness was over the top when he was a driver, and that he does regret some of the moves he made. But why is it that everybody who gets together with Kelly seems to turn into this Mad Max driver?
It is a bit weird.
Because Kelly's a nice girl.
Well, it must be Nelson who are just giving him some tips. That's it.
We do. Yeah, but as I said, Nelson's mellowed.
Yeah.
I loved him and what's his name on the
2 seconds.
Start just beyond the pit lights. Lewis Hamilton.
Yeah, Hamilton now is just being told start beyond the pit lights. This is where the practice starts have to be.
The little Frenchman.
I can't remember. Hang on. They've literally said, if you remember last year, Hamilton had a drive-through penalty because he started here, the exit of the pit lane. Do you remember?
Yes.
And literally, they've now put, for reasons of safety and sporting equality, cars may not stop in the fast lane at any time in the pit exit is open without a justifiable reason. A practice start is not considered a justifiable reason. That's in the race director's notes. They've had to put that in to make sure that nobody does that again.
That shot that the TV showed just then, looking down the straight as the cars are coming towards you from the grandstand, is one of the best shots in Formula One.
Oh yeah,
it's a magnificent building in front of them.
I must admit, I'm going to miss Sochi.
Charles would like that because he's into architecture, isn't he?
I am going to miss Sochi because we're moving to the
Prince Charles, not
We're moving to Ingurlia Drive in 2024 for the Russian Grand Prix towards St. Petersburg. So they were not having the Sochi Autodrome as the Russian Grand Prix home after 2 years. Aston Martin, I've told to Vettel, wind is strong.
This was always a problem in the Olympics.
Yeah.
It didn't affect the stuff that was done inside the velodromes and things like that. But for the marathon and things like that, the wind does travel down the valley and through this complex.
Track temperature is
a bit like it does at Stratford, actually.
Yeah.
Where the British Olympics was held.
That's why we did so well in the Winter Olympics in 2014 as well.
We had a wind behind us. Well, everybody had a wind behind
we had
us.
one gold medal with Lizzie Arnold in the women's skeleton.
And in the Winter Olympics.
Yeah, and we had a bronze medal in the women's snowboarding.
Yeah.
Which was great as well. Track temperature 27 degrees, air temperature at 18 as well.
You wrote an article
I did.
that was
after that,
for one of the newspapers about Lizzie Arnold.
I can't. I've also met one of the gold medalists from Vancouver in the Commonwealth Games.
Yeah.
Back in 2011, I think.
Good morning, the Commonwealth.
Back to this thing.
Or good evening if it's Commonwealth
afternoon.
In the south of the globe.
So just quickly, let's go back to what happened with Max
Southern
Verstappen,
Hemisphere.
as we've now got the Hamilton radio.
Just beyond the pit lights.
Oh, we heard that already. So back to the Verstappen incident as well. And I'm going to drag this, if I can, into vision so that you can all see. Look at that. There we go. Look. So this is the actual reason that I've just taken from the stewards as well. And I can read it and you can read it. I have to put my glasses on. So this is the reason that the stewards have given. It's a breach of Article 2D, Chapter 4, Appendix L of the FIA International Sporting Code. And that is a contact when he could have avoided. So he's hit Hamilton when it could have been avoided.
Yes, it could have been avoided because he had room to go onto the left over the curbs.
Yeah. So it is a 3.
Wind is strong, 20 kph.
That's Stroll.
Go 1.
That was Stroll's radio.
Quite thin wings here.
Yeah. So it's a bit like what we had at Monza, just a different variation.
This is such a flat track as well. It's probably the flattest track on the calendar.
I think it is, elevation just 1.9 metres, even Silverstone's got higher. So, the decision, a 3-place grid drop at the next event, which is here in Sochi, and it's a 2 penalty points imposed, which that means Verstappen has 2 penalty points on his licence.
Do they change every year? Do you get the 12 points back at the start of each year?
A 12-month period. So, Verstappen will have those until Monza next year.
Until Monza next year.
Yeah.
Right.
So they don't refresh.
I know Lewis has got quite a few as well.
9. So he's quite close, if Lewis was penalised last time out, he would have had a race ban for Russia. That's how close he got.
Just try to keep this track position. All cars behind us, slow laps.
That's Bottas being told to keep track position.
One of the things that worried a lot of people, both drivers and journalists in the pit and fans, was the fact that Max does not seem to be bothered.
No, he's not, is he?
Either at the time of the accident or things that he could have killed Lewis.
Yeah, he doesn't seem bothered.
It's been like an awakenment moment that, hey, I could have died there, right? Luckily, the halo and the head restraint did its job. And as Lewis said, the wheel actually pushed his head forward, and Angie's been working on the neck and the back muscles, massaging them and things like that.
I've just got a question as well. If Uncle Andrew is watching this by any chance, or Johnny, who is our cousin, my brother David just had a text message from a friend of Johnny's, James. So Johnny, if you're listening, Johnny, if you're listening. You have taken the wrong work bag to work, and you don't have your phone or laptop with you. So you do not have your phone or laptop, and you have the wrong work bag, Johnny.
So how is Johnny going to actually respond to that?
That's if Andrew or Kellyanne's watching, they can give him a quick Kellyanne. So any of our family watching this, try and get in contact with Johnny, because he's not got his right work bag. Call Andrew.
What is Johnny, an accountant or a solicitor?
I can't remember what he is at the moment. As Bottas goes Tom on 137.147.
He was a junior chess champion.
He was great. Yeah, he was great, wasn't he? So back to the reason here, and let's go through it in all, because it's going to get quite close. The stewards heard from the driver of 33, Max Verstappen, and the driver of 44, Lewis Hamilton, and the team representatives reviewed the video evidence and determined the driver of car 33 was predominantly to blame for the collision with car 44 at turn 2. Car 44 was exiting the pits, car 33 was on the main straight. At the 50-metre board, before... I've lost where it is now. At the 50-metre board before turn 1, car 44 was significantly ahead of car 33. Car 33 braked late and started to move alongside car 44, although at no point in the sequence does car 33 get any further than just behind the front wheel. So they were not significantly alongside each other.
Weren't.
So what that means is that Lewis had no reason to give Verstappen any room whatsoever.
Other than the fact that we know it's Max, and Max doesn't
but in
care about that.
Yeah, but in the letter of the law, Hamilton was in no fault. He had to give no room.
I feel this opinion that Max has that I'm coming through might have worked for Nico Rosberg's dad all those years ago, but in modern day Formula One, it doesn't work.
It's not. And listen to what he says after. During the hearing, Max Verstappen asserted that the cause of the accident was the driver of car 44, Lewis Hamilton, opening the steering after turn 1 and squeezing him to the apex of turn 2. That didn't happen. Max clearly lying about that. Lewis Hamilton asserted the driver of car 33, that's Max Verstappen, attempted to pass very late and should have given up the corner either by backing off sooner or turning left behind the curb. And this is what defined why there was a penalty here. The stewards observed on CCTV footage that the driver of car 44 was driving an avoiding line, although his position caused car 33 to go onto the curb. But further, the stewards observed that car 33, that's Max Verstappen, was not alongside car 44 until significantly into the entry at turn 1. In the opinion of the stewards, this manoeuvre was attempted too late for the driver of car 33 to have the right of racing room. So Lewis didn't have to give him any room at all. This was all on Max's fault going too late.
So everybody in the Sky thing, apart from Paul di Resta,
got it right. Yes, yeah, Paul got it wrong, unsurprisingly there. While car 44 could have steered further to the curb to avoid the incident, the stewards determined that his position was reasonable and therefore find the driver of car 33 was predominantly to blame for the incident.
And more than anything else, we got it right.
Yeah, we said it was that as well, straight away, as our driver tracker's frozen up in the box.
We didn't think there had been any... I'm not sure if we mentioned it, but I know I thought it. I thought the first part of the collision was wheel-to-wheel.
Yeah, it was a wheel-to-wheel.
I think we actually said wheel-to-wheel.
Yes.
And so, Max is a racing driver. He's never going to admit to this in a million years. But he just made a mistake. And these mistakes can be so costly when you're going for a world championship. It's all right if you're Ocon and you're not going to win a world championship this year or maybe next year or the year after that. But Max wants to win his first championship. And he will not do it doing things like that. Because people are getting wise to him. He can't bully his way around a corner.
Copy that.
Right.
You're in sync with other cars around you now, so that makes sense.
That's Alonso.
Just for info, we got an issue with lap beacon, so your reference lap will not be on the dash.
Valtteri used to be like this at Williams and got a lot of criticism for it. And when he got to Mercedes, it was very much drilled into him. You don't do that.
No, you can't do that, and don't do that, and don't even think about doing it.
And Christian should, Dr. Helmut must be absolutely at a loss with him because although he's a genius driver, right, he's got a lot to learn.
Max is still... I don't know how to put it. Max isn't...
So there's quite a lot of bottoming.
He doesn't seem to know how not to win the championship, how to lose the championship by his actions he's doing at the moment.
We have to watch out for that. And because of the bottom.
That's all.
We've got Leclerc 4 seconds behind.
That's all.
I take the point of what people say about Lewis at Silverstone and how Lewis contributed to the accident at Silverstone, right? But I also pointed out at the time that Max, if he wants to win this championship, shouldn't have gone where he went.
No, he shouldn't have. He should have. He was around the outside of Kopp's corner. It was a dangerous manoeuvre to do it. But Hamilton was in a position as well that he was always going to drift out wide as well. Verstappen put Hamilton in that position anyway, if you remember, because he dived to the inside towards the pit wall.
Bottas just gone top. 2 purple sectors in sector 1 and 2. Valtteri has just been released from the pressure.
Our timing screens have completely frozen. So
Here we go.
Yeah, the timing screen there is wrong.
3 were decent there, trickied up with traffic.
Right, so we've got a freeze on our
Timing
let's have from the clear.
screen.
Something strange.
Copy. We'll come back to you. And
I reckon
box this lap.
Ferrari
Box,
should
confirmed.
scrap Charles's car.
Well, it's a brand new engine, isn't it? They've just put it in. It's
Yeah,
the
but
upgraded one, yeah.
I don't know what it is. But sometimes you get these cars. My dad used to call them pups,
Yeah.
right?
Well, hang on a minute.
Or Friday afternoon specials.
What's going on here? Why do we? Oh, okay. So is this a
Oh, that's just
replay? Okay,
that was
yeah.
filmed yesterday.
I was just thinking
when it was raining yesterday, and it's to show the track limits and how Bert managed to actually go off too much as well.
So it's the Aston Martin this weekend,
right? But he was trying to do the things, and he braked very late in that car yesterday.
and that's
He went very deep into that runoff, whereas he didn't want to.
I still think that this.
I'm sure he chuckled about that himself. I know I did.
This runoff where Giovinazzi's gone through exit at turn 2, they've got to go over the little chicane area. It's one of the most dangerous and stupid runoffs I think I've ever seen in Formula 1 because it caused Aitken to get injured last year in the GP2 race.
By the way, some website to do with Formula 1, when they film that, it is shown.
Yeah, F1TV.com.
F1TV.com. That's the one. So if anybody wants to see Bert doing the lap, it's also to test the cameras.
Yeah.
To make sure the cameras are set up because they have to capture the speed. You don't want a judder.
We see a couple, don't we? We've seen a couple of them before.
Yeah,
especially last year.
Yeah.
Ricardo goes P9. Yeah, our timing screens are frozen up in the box at the well. We've got the live pictures working, but the countdown's still working, but our live timing has frozen and the driver tracker has frozen. So everything at the moment has stopped. I don't think it's anything to do with us.
You think it would be absolutely...
Is this a timing glitch or just me? Yeah, it's...
Does it work on other browsers other than Chrome? Dijon.
Well, we're on Safari at the moment. Yeah, so we've got a complete failure at the moment of our timing graphics.
Dijon's using Firefox.
And still not working. Oh, we're 2 seconds back. 2 seconds. So, yeah, at the moment, then, we've got nothing working on the here in the box. Go on.
I love. We've got all sorts of people who do this timing screen. Use this.
Some of them come from FOM as well. Yeah.
Right, and one of them says, "Rob waits patiently to let the admins do their magic on this awesome website."
So while we have a little freeze and we've got no other timing graphic to put up, so that timing tower is wrong at the moment, Charles Leclerc will start this Russian Grand Prix from the back of the grid. He has got a brand new engine in the back, and it is the updated one they want to use for 2022. But it's only here this year because they need to test it. But he will start at the back of the grid for it. But as you say, it's already not working.
And as for Kellyanne might not be listening because when did she get her Wi-Fi in her new big house?
Oh, good point. Yeah, and she's not at work at the moment. She's had to take a week off because there's no Wi-Fi.
Because there's no Wi-Fi.
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't think she's into the office either as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've just got we've just got the problem then. While we wait to see when our is that the time screen working?
It says you're logged out.
No. That's to me to log out, to press that button to log out. But right now we're logged in.
So Bottas and Lewis top the timing screen in this practice. Timing screen in practice.
Are you alright?
Hang on. How now, Brown Car?
I'll tell you what, okay. I've just realised we could have a different type of leaderboard here if I can get this into position.
I've got a feeling, Verstappen has got a Friday engine in, as usual on a Friday, right? I've got a feeling, that they will take a new engine this weekend.
Yeah.
Because it's a sensible thing to do. You've got to take the hit somewhere. And if you've got a 3-place grid penalty and you're not actually not actually as strong as the Mercedes usually is around this track, then it seems the ideal place to take your extra engine because of what happened at...
This recharge mode somehow is horrible. When I want to go on big lags, it's way worse than normal.
So there's a lag when Verstappen hits the accelerator. That's not nice to hear. We've got some timing. We've opened up the F1.com timing. I'll put it in the screen there for you. So that is the one in the big screen. That is currently the correct timings.
Am I supposed to see?
Hello. We've got it here. Bottas, Hamilton, Leclerc, Norris, Alonso.
Bottas going purple in,
Sectors
as we
1,
said, in sectors 1 and 2.
But while that's not working, I'll just put it like that so we can see it a bit more clearer. So it's Bottas, Hamilton, Leclerc,
What's
Norris,
Megan
Alonso.
got to do with it?
Megan, where are you on?
You said Clara.
Oh, right.
Oh, it's Clara, isn't
Clara, that's
her
nicknames.
Her nickname is Clara after Doctor Who.
Mainly because she had a T-shirt or a jumper that looked exactly like Clara's. Well, it's all right. She used to have a dress that looked like 7 of 9, so I called her 7. Then she had a top that looked like
These
Clara,
are getting quite
Clara.
funny. Mick has said the timing screen is on life support.
Yeah, and timer's still not working, so it has a pulse still. So yeah, the timer is still working, it's still ticking down, but still nothing at the moment. But our timer is self-controlled, the P1 thing. As Verstappen's gone quickest now in that second sector, he's done a 32.840. Sector 3 coming up now, cross the line, and Verstappen goes top, 136.055.
So changing the mode had a completely different effect on that lap.
Yeah,
because that radio transmission was from the lap before.
Yeah, and I'll tell you one thing as well. As if we look at it. As they go on an ad break, and now we are completely blind because we've got no driver tracker and only a timing screen. It's bad. Tell you what,
you must really pay the bill, Josh.
Well, this comes directly from FOM as well. So
talking of paying the bill, right? Could I have the bill? Could you pay me for the this month's ink, which at the moment is what's 9.75 times by 5?
Well, we haven't had that many. No, it's fine. I think we only need colour.
I thought he'd realize. I didn't know he'd add them up going.
Now look, these are printed same time. Do you think that's only colour we need? Because that comes from a document. So I think it's only colour, not black. I'd say it's colour we need. Yeah, I'm not sure.
The chat's not up either. Nobody's chatting.
Yeah, Verstappen 6 seconds pushing. 5, 4.
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you. Verstappen pushing.
That's Raikkonen radio.
Good evening, Australia.
Yes,
I hope you're all safe after the earthquake.
Another one?
No, they had one. Was it Tuesday or Wednesday?
Oh, not good, not good, not good.
I mean, I remember the New Zealand earthquake. That was terrible, and that's not too far away.
So we're still. I've just remembered. I've got to text.
One of the TV stations fell down, didn't it? Among other things. So, let's tell you this, that Verstappen on a 135.055. Now, that has the change in a mode. He's gone into the pits now. Virtually everybody's in the pits apart from Gasly and Tsunoda.
Yeah, everyone. Yeah, they're the only two out.
On reminder, we will use the
now.
push toggle turn 2, turn 4, and turn it off before turn 5.
That's Gasly on the radio.
Tsunoda, who is on the press conference. Anybody who saw the press conference, it was brilliant because they were talking to Lewis about going to the Met Gala.
Yeah.
Right, because Lewis took 4. He had invited 5, but he took 4 young fashion designers to the Met Gala in costumes that they had made, including his. And they asked Tsunoda about his thing in fashion. And he bluffed his way through the fact that AlphaTauri is a fashion zone, and he likes next year's outfit.
Oh, has he seen it already? AlphaTauri is always a bit weird with me.
Then he then thought you could see the little ding in his head.
Yeah.
Right. Oh yeah, I like so and so type of. Is it grunge style?
Oh no.
You'll stop on the marks.
That
will change the front wing and straight back onto track.
So Max having front wing changed. He's already done it now in Sector 1.
Yeah, I think that was when he went over that curb. There was a lot of sparking afterwards. And
he's just dislodged something.
And I think he dislodged something.
Tell you what, Netflix just quickly are rumoured to wanting to buy the rights to Formula One alongside Sky F1. I'm up for that, only so that we don't get bleeding adverts during the practice sessions.
This isn't Coronation Street, you know. Watch your language.
I didn't do anything just right. I tell you what, though, it has completely failed that timing screen at the moment. And
Mind you, having said that, Lorraine Kelly did it the other day.
Yeah, she did, didn't she?
She used the B word.
Actually, I'm surprised she got away with that on ITV.
Yeah, well, we reversed it back and then put the subtitles on to see what the subtitle has said, and he cleaned it up for her.
Ah, clever.
It's like anybody who is watching Coronation Street, the sign language.
Yeah.
Right? If you obviously they don't always tell you what they're signing, and but if you turn the subtitles on, the subtitler does actually tell you what they're signing.
Pierre Gasly, the live time is more than 10 minutes behind now. Yeah, we know. Pierre Gasly just went off the track at turn 2. Track limits this weekend is turn 2 and turn 18 exits as well. And it's all very confusing, so we'll get into that quickly. Each time any car fails to negotiate turn 2 by using the track and who passes to the left or has any part of the car over the first orange curb element prior to the apex or to the left of the orange curb sausage at turn 2 must then rejoin the track by driving around the array of blocks indicating the arrows as well at turn 3. That is one of the most confusing ones. Basically, if you go off, you just got to go straight towards the orange ball to go straight on like we saw Pierre Gasly and Antonio Giovinazzi do. Turn 18, it's simple. You go all 4 wheels off the white line, and that's it. Lap time gone.
And everybody who was looking forward to it being raining today, like it was yesterday, right? The weather forecasters in Sochi got it wrong completely, didn't they? It's a beautiful day here in Sochi.
It's 18 degrees at the moment, sunshine. However, tomorrow, a 100% chance of rain, heavy rain as well. And it's going to start actually raining later on tonight at Sochi, about 7 o'clock. So the rain is coming. But look at that, tomorrow morning, 100. The F3 and F2 races.
As you went around that corner, did you see the size of that SUV?
Yes, I think I did.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, that's bigger than the GMC ones.
And in Sheffield, there's a 100% chance of rain at 10 o'clock, but it's dry this evening.
Hello, Sheffield.
Nice. That's nice, yeah. I'll be in there later.
He's going to Sheffield tonight.
They're making me do a Ninja Warrior course. I mean, for goodness sake. It's like last
They're
week...
not making you do anything. You want to do it.
Last week, they tried to kill me on a trampoline.
Yeah.
195 my heart rate went to. I look so red. I look like I was an alien on Star Trek.
Just really
You are
slow
an
out
alien
of
from Star Trek.
the straight out on the
Your
white.
mother's a Romulan.
Good point.
What should I do for the brakes? Because
Old joke, by the way. She
just didn't
don't
work.
have to not let her know
We have
that.
margin to start -1. Margin to start -1.
Cross the
On
line.
braking turn 13.
Verstappen does a 135.616. Bottas is quick there, sectors 1
And two,
two.
but Max is purple in sector 3.
Yeah, so this should be okay. Bottas then into the last 2 corners.
I think
turn
they're a lot
17.
closer than people were thinking.
Well, this is a Mercedes-dominated track, so let's
Well,
hope
these
there's a
are-
good one.
These are
he's-
Friday engines, aren't they?
Yeah, 1.189 quicker. So Bottas on a 134.427 goes fastest as well.
I got fruit loaf all over me.
Oh, dear. I've only had a biscuit this morning. I have not had my yogurt yet because I
Well,
looked at...
once I've had my cornflakes, your mother does me either brown toast
Yes.
or toasted fruit loaf.
I need to have the fruit loaf. Well, I
I
looked...
had the fruit loaf this morning.
I was going to have the yogurt, but I looked at it and I felt so sick. I didn't think about it. So I'll have something in between. I think it's sausage rolls for dinner anyway. I might make something else though. I don't know what there is. Bacon sandwich maybe. Bacon
know
sandwich,
what?
sausage rolls, and a
I'm
packet
going to
of
tell everybody
chive
what you
crisps.
made the other day.
Oh, potato salad. I put that on Instagram actually. That's
Yeah, you had they had potato salad. I had a little bit.
You had
of
a
it.
bit
It
of
was
it, yeah.
quite nice. I had it with my corned beef hash.
Well, I keep telling you, I'm a very good cook.
Yeah,
I forgot the lemon. I forgot the lemon juice though. He didn't
So,
have any lemon juice in it. So it worked without it.
ladies, he can cook.
Oh, yeah.
He can sew. He can wash. He can clean. He can't hoover for the life of him, and he only cleans things where he can use his gloves.
Hang on a minute. Oh, they're over there. Look. The gloves are over there because we had to clean the box up earlier. Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
God, where is it all gone?
It was hoovered. And
It's
it
that
was
green
cleaned.
thing down there. It's
Oh,
like the top from
it's
one of
these.
those.
Yeah, it's one of the stick things. Well, we hoovered because there was an array of spiders everywhere. So I text Mum saying, "Get the hoover in here." So I put the Mum held it up. I had the big long tube.
Are those
was hoovering everything
are
up.
those external high drives okay on a cold floor?
Oh yeah, they're in the box. They've got cushioning underneath them. They've just put there anyway this morning.
So Lewis goes second again.
What time's it? 134.
I don't think there's any change there. Leclerc goes third.
It's just Verstappen who's dropped down 3 places at the moment as well.
I think they're all getting to grips with this track pretty quickly, and most of them have driven it quite a few times before. Tsunoda's driven it really well last year in was it G2 or G3? F3.
F2. Let me look at my notes. Yuki Tsunoda's previously raced here at F3 and F2. He failed to score here in 2019's F3 race, but scored in both F2 races.
Yes, he did.
And he was
-10 on front tires, confirmed.
That's
And the
Mazepin.
left sensor is broken, confirmed.
Left sensor is broken, confirm. Use the right as your rear reference. And yes, -10 on front. -10 on front, rear's about right.
Tsunoda last year finished second in the feature race.
Yay! I was right.
Mazepin, because he was just on the radio and he's the only Russian driver, he becomes the third Russian to take part in his home race. Danny Kvyat and Sergei Sorokin, the other two. Mazepin has raced in GP3 and Formula 2. He's finished on the podium twice, a second place in a 2018's GP3 race, and another second in the last year's F2 sprint race.
I remember something about Nikita saying that this isn't his home race, that the one in St. Petersburg would be more
his home race.
Yeah, because this is something like something like 400 miles from where he was brought up.
Yeah, it's massive. It's like another country for him, actually, as well, on the board. I've muted him for you. It's like another country almost.
It's like us saying that our home race is Austria, because it's about the same distance, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not, by the way. It's Tortles. Tortle comes from Austria.
Tell you what, it's a busy weekend ahead.
I just miss Bauer.
I got excited for a second because I thought our timing screens were back operational. And considering it still shows Verstappen down in the order, I don't think it is. I'm refreshing it just to see.
We will now refresh the live. Right,
no, still nothing.
Nothing.
Still nothing. Only the timer's working with... No, actually, even the timer's must look. It says 49 minutes to go. And there's 29
minutes to go, 51 seconds.
So that has not moved since the 10 minutes into the session. So, sorry about that. Norris coming through. We've got a comment coming through, but to do that, I've got to move everything around because otherwise it does... Oh, actually, no, that'll be all right. I can do that. Beth is here saying, hola, peeps.
Sector 3 competitive to Lewis.
That's Bottas. Hola, peeps. What are the early predictions for podiums on Sunday? Be brave. Predict now. No hedging bets. It'll be Bottas, Hamilton, Verstappen, 1, 2, 3. That'll be the race because I think Bottas is going to win. Although we've seen he's had to give team positions, but it could be a wet race as well, so who knows what's going to happen. I think it'll be a Mercedes victory, though.
I think that this track favours the McLarens. I think it favours the... and they're boasted by the what happened at the last Grand Prix. I think Bottas has been released from his shackles in some ways. The pressure is off him, and the pressure is all on Lewis because Lewis has got to come out and fight. I think it'll be a very good race. I think it's between the two Mercedes. I've got a feeling Max will come together with somebody again.
Probably Bottas thinking about it this time.
Could be Bottas, yeah. I don't see Max. Max has got this, it's not a chip on his shoulder. It's more like a feeling of invincibility.
Yeah.
And that's when you make mistakes in Formula One. And... I think he's a great driver and he's a future champion as well. But he's also got to... What I will say to people is watch out for the young'uns.
Yeah.
Right? Because you could miss your chance, Max. If you make too many mistakes this year, you could miss out on being a world champion. Because some of them youngsters, like Norris...
Fast.
Right?
Yeah.
And like Russell, our own drivers, and, if someone gives even Ocon a chance in a good car again...
He's up there straight away.
He's up there straight away because he's got
Okay, there will be
a race
Bottas
talent,
starting a lap.
Right, we know that Lewis and Max and Leclerc are special.
After Bottas, you have a huge gap.
But then so are quite a few of the others. And I think this could be a Sterling Moss situation.
Yeah.
Where you have a great driver who never won a world championship. Now,
hey, it's back!
It's back!
It's back!
You're back with us.
Our driver tracker's back. Fantastic. I was getting worried. Continue what you're saying.
You'd think it'd work in Russia, wouldn't you? Because
Yeah.
they're the experts on all things to do with computers.
I think we've been hacked. Can I say that? I think I can, can't I?
No, because they'll hack us.
That's a good point. Okay, so we're back. Fantastic. And let's go back to the group chat quickly. Beth saying other timing screens are available. Thank God I thought that we can do that now. We're dragging the screen that we look at in the box over. Doing the Boot says Bottas, Verstappen and Norris is his prediction. And Doing the Boot says Ian won't like that, but I tend to agree. Oh, with the fact that Hamilton's not on the podium. I think Norris being third could do it. I thought Norris was going to win in Italy.
Yeah, the playing down Lewis's injuries from that last race.
Acupuncture.
But
Acupuncture.
You've got to think of the positioning of a driver, right? They're virtually laid on the floor.
Yeah.
Right? Now, Lewis has got neck and upper back injuries from that race.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I agree. It could really affect Lewis this weekend. It hasn't shown in this practice session at all. But the longer the weekend goes on, the more strain on that back. Yeah, you could be right this weekend. It might not be Lewis's time. And I do really think, like we were saying earlier, that Christian will take the engine penalty this weekend.
I think so, because you got a 3-place grid penalty anyway. And
the balance is still quite loose on bumps, I think.
That's not on now.
I think that's what unstable makes the car unstable.
Yeah, you've got this 3-place grid penalty. You've got the 3-place grid penalty. It's a track where Mercedes are dominant. This is a bogey circuit. It's a wet race as well. Yeah. You may as well take the energy penalty. Start at the back and then fight your way back up.
Ocon and Alonso are saying openly that their car is roughly 4th or 5th fastest of the cars. Right, and sometimes at some tracks 6th fastest, and so their positioning and the amount of points that they've hauled in this year is impressive.
Massive.
I mean, you've got to look at the things people are given, like the Williams. Like we knew George was doing really well, but so is Latifi. Latifi. That Williams is improving.
7 points off the top of my head he's got this year.
Yeah, and Latifi and Russell. Were always showing the rest of us that even in a very bad car, they were doing really well. Whereas the two Haas drivers, right? Yeah. Mick is showing more than Nikita, but both are showing slight improvements. But I personally would love to see Mick in a different car, whereas I don't think Nikita could handle a different car. I know he trained in a Mercedes.
David's being modest. We've got a VSC.
Oh, wow. What's a VSC?
Virtual safety car. Yeah, now what's that? Why is that called? It's literally just been deployed. So, virtual safety car thrown out there. I'm not seeing anyone on the driver tracker going slow. But I wonder if a bollard or something's come loose on the circuit and they have to deal with it. But virtual safety car deployed. Oh, yeah, it's right. It's a bollard, look. So, the marshal.
It's something.
Turn 1.
Yeah.
So they've had to pick it up.
But that was way off the racing line.
Well, if you think about it, look, you're right.
But it's coming out the pitch. You're not supposed to. You're supposed to be wary of the fact that some cars come out the pits there.
Yeah.
You watch the racing line; he's there.
You're right. It's way off the racing line. So they've had to bring it out. But virtual safety car ending now before we head back to the green.
It was worth testing the VSC, wasn't it?
Yeah, always worth testing it as well, which is great news.
And we're gone green again.
Not a bad one, actually, to head to green. I think it's going to happen in the next few seconds.
Timing screen's gone back to green.
Yep, we're green now. So away we go once again. 23 minutes to go of this race. Before that virtual safety car came out as well, I was just reading a text message as well, because I said the guy who got in contact with David said as well he thought he was Johnny's brother, so he thought it was Matt. But he's not. And David said, being modest is all, so an insult to everyone. I said, why do you think he was your brother? He said, probably was told to look for the most handsome birch. He's being modest this morning.
Well, I'm not on Facebook, so, you know.
Very funny. No, but David's being a bit modest there, isn't he? And Mum's going to get the ink.
My beautiful lad, you know.
I'm surprised he's being modest. So, yeah, I tell you, this is a big one. Johnny, have you found your bag yet? If so, get in touch. You know the address as well. I've been watching too much classic Top Gear. I've watched because the whole series has now been put onto BBC iPlayer from 2002 onwards. So I watched the first series yesterday. I actually liked Jason Dorr. He was all right. He was great insider car trading, great old classic cars as well, and a couple of deals as well that in 2002 were like, oh, these brand new Bentleys, these brand new Mercedes and that lot.
I love that
going
show.
For 60 grand. Do you know how much? Sorry, do you know how much an S Class from Mercedes 2002 is going for now? £1,000. And the engine is still good for another 20,000 miles. But still, get it refurbished. It's good for another, 60, 80? And it's cheaper to insure than a Toyota Aygo that a friend of mine's got. So for a Toyota Aygo, you could get a Mercedes S-Class from 2002
So Hamilton behind has got DRS on.
with the same amount of technology.
Eyes in the mirrors.
The insurance would be...
We'll go B-Bal 6. B-Bal 6.
The insurance would be about 600 quid cheaper
How's the balance?
per year. And the fuel costs would be cheaper as well.
Big issues.
What you've got to look at there is the availability of spare parts.
Well, it's an S-Class as well. I mean, you go to Africa, all they drive over there is Mercedes. S-Classes are like mad. S-Class has got a lot of reusable parts as well. So I'm quite surprised. Compare that to everything else. I'm quite surprised many people who are first-time drivers and first-time car owners aren't having Mercedes S-Classes. It's just a little bit funny. Honestly, watching the classic Top Gear is worth it because you find the brand new cars from then that are still good today that are now bargains.
I like that show where the guy goes out and buys a car for cheap and then
restores.
And the other guy restores it on Discovery.
Range Rover 2003 model. It was, what was it, 80 grand back then. Guess how much it is today?
I don't know. What is a roller coaster from that year?
£2,500. And I bet Danny could find it cheaper as well.
Yeah, I bet Dan could. Yeah.
Honestly, it's unbelievable the amount of they're depleting in value, but they're exactly the same cars. It's just because they're rarer. It's unbelievable. The new models come out. Skodas, same thing. Hondas, same thing. I mean, I was looking in the other day as well because I've been watching this classic Top Gear, so it's been quite fun to watch. They had a Volkswagen Beetle, the one that came out in '03 as well, the updated one. That cost
left-hand drive.
Left-hand drive, yeah.
First 18 months, 2 years, they were all left-hand drive.
Yeah, and those left-hand drives ones, when they were new, cost 20 grand. Guess how much they cost today? £40,000. They've gone up in value because they're only left-hand drive. So they're all going up and down.
So they're a rarity.
Yeah. It's fantastic. Honestly, I would suggest.
Talking of classic cars, the old Rover 80, which
had
the doors that you could have a picnic because you could pin the doors like that.
Yeah, one open one way, one open the other.
One open one and one open the other way, right? When we used to have the classic car show at the boating lake, right? It always used to amaze me the amount of Rover 80s that are still around. They were built like tanks, and they still are. There used to be about 60 of them.
What was that car that was? What was it? The
most amazing
car,
you saw was when we were at Duxford at the Imperial War Museum on that Sunday on the special day, and it was classic car day and classic military day, and they had round about I would say about 50 or 60 pre-Second World War Rolls Royces.
They're good,
and some dating back to the First World War. And time, and how silent they were as they were like electric cars. All you heard, they were so silent, the engines.
They still are, They had a Range Rover on the other day, actually. I said the other day, literally this morning when I watched the episode as well. And that was brand new 02. Cost, I think it was something like 160 odd grand. Nowadays, £5,000.
Yeah, if you want a bit of luxury.
Oh, that's Lando off the track with some debris on his tyres. So Lando's gone for a spin.
I mean, your mum's V8 3-litre Espace.
Oh, the van. Oh, that was on as well. Yeah.
That was like a train carriage inside. The seats were fantastic.
Why did we never reverse the seats? I never knew why we didn't do that.
Well, I did once, but reversed the past the driver's seat.
Yeah,
I knew how to
yeah.
do it because the Fiat camper that we hired, you could do it on that.
I would. And that's landed just going a little bit wide off the track.
It's a little. All it is actually, you know, the lads in Hull have to have it as well on their taxis. It's little button, a bit like you have on your seat at the computer.
Oh yeah, the lever.
You pull the lever and pull it outwards, and then you can swizzle round and put it back in, lock it.
Oh, I see. Right, yeah. So you just. Oh, well, that's clever. We've got this at the moment as well. Beth is there as saying, as a former CL owner, don't make me stage an intervention, Josh. Well, a McLaren SCL, they were great. Sorry, a Mercedes SCL, they were great little cars as well. And the one from 02 was great. So yeah, now Range Rover. What the heck is wrong with you, Josh? Why not just save yourself the heartache and money and just set yourself on fire? Oh well, some of them are quite reliable as well.
No, that's the Vauxhall. Vauxhall Brever, is it? And
they set themselves on fire.
Those SUVs,
yeah,
people used to just park them up, and then all of a sudden people would knock on the door and say, "Excuse me, your car's on fire."
Yeah, there's catch because it was the glue, wasn't it? The same thing happened with the Ferrari about 10 years back. The glue that held the engine covers and all that together just caught fire. To 2%, my Toyota Camry is a classic car. Yeah, they are. As is my Corolla. Yeah, we had a Corolla, didn't we, for a couple of years? A 1991 one.
Yeah, your mum had a Corolla.
Green as well, and it was still going, wasn't it, when we sold it? But it just wouldn't pass the MOT again.
Yeah, well, it would, but it would have
required more work.
It was at the stage where we would have had to spend more money on it than to buy the other one.
So it was gone, but that was a great. That car, literally, I'm surprised they're not used in wars. They can go forever. I mean, that's
excuse me, Toyota Hilux are used.
The Hilux are,
all over the world.
Yeah, the Corolla's not there, but the Corolla should be
most used by most ISIS terrorists.
Yeah, to be fair, and I've only ever seen one of them that have been killed as well. These Toyota Hiluxes, they can literally be set on fire.
Well, we had a Top Gear show about that as well. About and it was actually in the later editions. It was on the one of the cars up above, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was put up there because they just couldn't kill it.
They couldn't kill it. Yeah.
But yeah, what was it? That Toyota was a lovely little car as well. But I'm trying to think as well, what would be the model equivalent? Toyotas are nice cars as well. I do like the Igo at the moment, but it's just a little bit. It feels like if you go too fast round a corner, it's just going to fall over. It feels like a Reliant Robin.
But that was the problem with the Range Rovers.
Yeah, on the Range Rover, the two
that's why we called them roller coasters, because of the fact that you went round a corner at speed in them. Right?
Just topple over, The suspension was too much, That's the. Do you remember the Aventine?
I'll tell you the car that was most right. Dell's car that used to do that. And,
the Reliant Robin one.
And the Fun Bug.
Oh,
they were forever going around the corner too fast and just falling over.
The Capri,
No, not the Capri. The Reliant Robin van. And
that wasn't a Reliant Robin, was it? What was it? It was the other one.
Yeah, it was a Rialto or something.
Yeah, it was the van version, wasn't it? Yeah. That 3 little wheel thing as well. I don't know.
There was 7 of them during the career of the show. Right. And we've lost John Chalice this week.
Yeah.
I took Josh to see John
Peter Pan,
in pantomime when you were little.
And he played Chico.
He was absolutely fantastic.
Played the
fantastic actor.
It was Peter Pan. He played the father and Captain Hook.
He's been very nice to have autographed one of the Green Grass. And
you've got yes.
I have. And
also
the Boise car.
In fact, hang on, you take that. I'll go grab it.
He's going to grab my Boise car, my Capri toy. Anyway, Formula One. The 2 Mercedes out in front at the moment. Verstappen is in 3rd, only 0.2 down. It's Friday morning. They're just getting used to the circuit. I think they're getting used to the circuit pretty well. That was fast. He's getting faster. He was never like this at school. Yeah, there's John Chalice's autograph.
Got it.
And it's on that.
The Capri gear as well, yeah.
The Pratmobile. Yeah.
Which Boise actually sold him.
Yeah.
For, what was it, 400 quid? But I forgot we got that until you said it. We got that. Was it? But was that your 60th?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
Yeah, that was a present. That was only early on this year, back in March in Bahrain, actually, wasn't it? That is a unique thing. Though,
warning:
well,
this
yeah.
product is not a toy. Not suitable for children under 14 years old. Well, I was
Megan,
pretty close to that.
Yeah. But lovely little car, isn't it?
Then one day, the trotters came to town, and before you knew it, someone had nicked the flagpole.
Oh, there's a great. Oh, Beth saying something as well in the group chat quickly as well. My sister had the late 70s Corolla Coupe that she got with 60 kilometres on it. Drove it about 120 kilometres when we said to her, sounds rough. When was last service? She said, what do you mean service? Oh, dear.
Oh, no, your mother knew somebody like that, and you didn't realise. And yeah, servicing, some people don't think you'd have to.
60, though, it hadn't even changed oil. 60 kilometres on the oil.
I know, it must have been as thick as...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those things, though, are tanks.
Because your oil gets very thick because it gets...
Put through the engine several times.
Heated up, cooled.
Well,
it's a bit like a stew or soup the day after.
Yeah,
right?
it's sticky. And,
so you're doing that for all those years.
One thing I didn't like either is the fact is that this new petrols, we've talked about it before on the commentary, the E5 petrol to the E10 petrol.
Well, our Prime Minister has got a solution to that.
What?
He's not having it delivered to any petrol station.
He's not doing it now?
No. We've got a shortage of drivers.
Oh.
Some of the petrol stations have run out.
Oh, I did hear about we've got a petrol shortage, which it's just fantastically funny because...
We've got a shortage of everything.
It was coming, wasn't it? We knew
it's not because of
Brexit.
It's because...
COVID, really, yeah.
It's not because of COVID. It's because of the fact that...
Trade deals, he's a prat, this sort of thing?
All those things could be true. Do you want us to know the honest answer?
Yes, go on.
Someone with an actual thing in politics.
Go on.
Right?
Oh, hang on.
My view...
Hang on, I'll get Jack on the line.
Why?
Well, he's got a degree in it.
Listen.
Jack should have been a politician.
In my view, right, when Boris took charge, he got rid of all the ministers with experience and put his own cronies in. This week, he has had to back down on that. He's been backing down on it with people like Sanjid.
Yeah.
Right? And he's been backing down on that because things are starting to go wrong. Because, right, it's like you wouldn't put a guy who ran a Formula 3 team in charge of a Formula 1 team without putting back up there with him.
Because he'd be sinking quite
because he hasn't got the experience.
Yeah.
And that's what's happened in the cabinet, right? It's all right them going, oh, yes. But
it's nothing.
He doesn't know what he's doing.
He'll be out before Christmas. I said that to you the other day.
The worrying thing is, I've been Labour all my life. And the worrying thing is that Labour have been out of have been in opposition so long that the same thing will happen with Labour, that they haven't got people with the experience
to lead the government. Yeah, they've got a good one with Keir Starmer currently in control of it.
Yeah, I like Keir, but a lot of people don't. But then again, I didn't like Jeremy, so.
Well, to be fair, did anybody actually? When was the last Prime Minister you actually liked from Labour?
Tony.
I was going to say it's probably Tony Blair, isn't it?
Although no, I like Gordon. Gordon was the best Chancellor in the world.
Yeah, but he was an okay Prime Minister.
Even Conservatives will tell you that Gordon Brown was the best Chancellor.
Yeah.
Possibly not a very good Prime Minister, but...
he's never won an election. Because, of course, he took over from Gordon. He took over from Tony Blair. Never won an election.
I actually did win an election at university.
Oh, that one, yeah.
Yes.
Well, to be fair, did Theresa May ever win an election?
Yes, she once got house monitor at her school.
To be fair, we've had so many elections in the past couple of years. I can't work out what we're on now because it's every 5 years. It used to be.
Well, there's an
5
example.
to 10.
Theresa May.
Now she's
Theresa May was totally out of her depth as Prime Minister.
It was 3 elections in 18 months.
I know I don't like him, but the guy who signed your certificate,
David Cameron.
I don't like David Cameron. He's complete and utter Tory, right? And I don't really feel I'm not
completely
for
like it,
Tory
yeah.
principles at all, right? But he was very, very good at what he did. You know,
I make the argue for Margaret Thatcher as well. She did some things very well and some things very poorly. The same thing goes for David Cameron as well.
Well, as a northerner, right?
Oh, she completely buggered us all. Yeah,
She decimated the coal industry, right?
shouting at miners left, right, and centre,
and other things, and
you would just have been loved to have been a fly on the wall in her parliament, though, wouldn't you? In the private meetings in the cabinet.
Yes. Do you know Casualty? Amanda Mealin plays Mrs. whatever her name is.
Yeah,
you know,
can't remember the name, but yeah,
yeah, Connie Beechin.
that's the one.
Right, she's Margaret Thatcher's nephew's wife.
Beth, we said about when the last good prime minister was. Beth said
Chamberlain.
Probably
yes,
right
very
there.
good. Although my dad was named after Stanley Baldwin, so. You know.
Let's go to the chat quickly, as well, because I had a couple of them come through as well. Jim Blue says, "Has life changed since Brexit?" Well, we haven't really had any. We can't really tell yet because we had COVID as well.
So that's what Beth did at university, is it?
Oh, fun fact! I've got an MA in political theory and public policy, and I hate politics. Can't stand it these days. Oh my god! Well, maybe I'll stop with politic talk then. I didn't know that.
Has life? The dude in the blue suit wants to know: has life changed since Brexit?
I can't really tell.
Because of the pandemic, I would say it's changed more because of the pandemic.
It's changed, yeah.
Than Brexit.
Important. If you want car news, this is important car news that is actually related to Brexit. I found out this morning, actually, when I was doing all my little notes.
Oh, we haven't looked this up yet.
I haven't looked it up. But listen, if you are in the UK, and regardless if you drive abroad or not, if you live in the UK, that's Britain, Northern Ireland, Scotland and Wales as well, from the 28th of September this year, in the back of every single car, there must be a sticker that says UK. Not a GB sticker, a UK sticker. That applies for if you drive in the UK or if you drive abroad as well. It's a new rule.
Well, as the,
looks like that.
If Grant Shapps has
looks like that.
Done that, then he's an idiot.
Yeah, looks like that. You need to have one of those on the back of your car at all times.
If you're driving abroad, I can understand it.
Yeah.
But if you're driving in this country, no point.
You will need to display a UK sticker clearly on the rear of your vehicle if your number plate has any of the following: a GB identifier with the Union flag, also known as the Union Jack, a Euro symbol, a national flag of England, Scotland or Wales, numbers and letters only, no flag or indicator. So that's every car must have a UK sticker on the back.
Only if it has one of those number plates that has the European Union on it. And
or
the British flag on it.
No.
What about the Manchester United ones? Do they get done?
No, listen. A GB identifier with the Union flag, also known as the Union Jack.
I'm sure our Richard's got Hull City on his.
A Euro symbol, a national flag of England, Scotland or Wales, or numbers and letters only. So basically every number plate. So every car must have a UK sticker on the back of it on September the 28th. If not, it's £100 fine.
Oh, well, you know what?
So when the seatbelts came in,
Tories always cut income tax.
Yeah.
Right? And put everything, the stealth taxes. Beth will understand what this is, right? The stealth taxes, the taxes that you think they put they've just put up national insurance, right? The next one will be the one that they used a few years ago, which is they'll put money on VAT.
Yeah.
And they put money on things like petrol and things like that. And so that people don't understand that they've increased.
Well, they want to put the petrol up, won't they, to force everyone towards electric cars. But electric cars don't actually solve anything, as I said before, because if everyone...
We had this debate before.
Yeah.
3 minutes left of this
it's gone by quick, isn't it?
Hydrogen.
Yeah, that's the way.
The Formula One community are desperately trying to work with their own manufacturers, right, to produce a hydrogen petrol.
Yeah.
Petronas are really in development, and so are Shell, who do Ferrari.
Mobil One as well with the
Mobil One, yeah. And it's got to go forward like that.
Because if everyone's going to have electric cars, only new cars will be electric from 2030.
Of course,
that's not going to work.
We are using 100%, right? 100% here. We are using renewable energy. We live.
Yeah, we are, aren't we? Yeah.
We live in the ports and the Hull and Grimsby are both right where the wind turbines are produced and looked after.
Forgot about that. We're actually using renewable energy, so we could have that Sky Zero net carbon.
The wind turbines off the coast of this area, right, provide enough energy to operate the. Now I know everyone's going to say, "Oh yeah, it goes into the grid and it goes all around the country and things like that."
Yeah.
But the point is, our area produces enough for Yorkshire and Humber, already with its wind turbines on land and sea, with its it's even got near Hull Marina.
Yeah.
There is a tidal flow energy
the other week,
things.
Yeah. So it's nice, isn't it? And as well, Formula One is also saying that they want to go carbon neutral by 2025, and they're getting there. They're going to have sustainable
fuels.
fuels.
What worries me about E10 petrol is cars like that cannot work on it. So it's going to be more expensive to drive a classic like the Pratmobile.
But I suppose
because of the fact that the petrol, when you're producing something that isn't going to be used by the masses, like the E5 petrol, right, it's going to go up in price.
What about sustainable fuel? That's what Formula One have by 2025. That could be an option to.
Well, everybody said electric, didn't they? And your Uncle Keith has a hybrid.
Electrics aren't going to hybrids work.
It doesn't. It's a full solution because of the fact that.
How do you get
people who live in flats?
Yeah, to charge it.
How do you get people who have to park on a street?
Yeah.
You're going to have cables running out their houses, or will it be from the floor? And then you get the idea where someone could just come along and don't like you and just unplug it during the night.
And also, where does the electricity come from? Oh yeah, power stations. What causes power stations? Oh yeah, pollution. There's no hydrogen is the best way to do it.
We also have lost our big power station in Doncaster at Drax, right? That's gone into it's producing it by pellets.
Yeah.
Recyclable pellets. Now, we've still got one gas turbine.
Oh, Gio's locked up down 10, 12, nearly into the barrier, but he's gone okay.
At Killinone, but that is at the moment offline because it's been transferred into biofuel as well.
Yeah.
If not already has.
I think
it's now completed, and then it's operating on biofuel.
Let's hear from Gio Venazzi.
Gio Venazzi.
Yeah, he's locked up down 10, 13 as well.
Yeah, we can see that.
Yeah.
Joe, because you've got the little
flat spots and blue smoke,
blue smoke.
So it's Bottas who's taken first blood. It is track where he's last won a Grand Prix. Of course, he won the sprint race at Monza. That doesn't count as a race.
If you're Valtteri, you're going to want to do as well as you possibly can. You've got to. Lewis is his friend. He wants to help Lewis, right? Lewis fought all the time with Nico, but hasn't really with Valtteri.
There's been a couple of times where they've gone wheel to wheel. Silverstone 2020 brings to mind as well.
Yeah,
Germany
but they both
19.
had big respect for each other.
Yeah.
And if only Max and Lewis could drive like those two did in that sequence.
A lot more clearer, yeah.
And we had that with the McLarens earlier on in the year. They drove a beautiful sequence.
I remember that one, yeah.
Yeah.
They'll get there. But still, there's no doubt next year is going to be a different regulation change. Everything changed. Mercedes could find themselves as a midfield team next year.
I mean, is it true that Toto sits there and when things are going well, he's going like that?
Yeah, he taps on
his thing to the tune of Africa.
Presumably Toto Africa. I do know he does actually tap on the desk because we've seen him, doesn't he? Yeah, he taps it. He just taps with his two fingers, just going along the thing. Horner's leg twitches.
He really misses Nicky.
Yeah.
I mean, Nicky was related to him by marriage, and so they were very, very close.
Sonoda.
This car is so nervous.
Not surprised you.
I don't know, yeah.
That was the best Crofty comeback.
You didn't hear it, I don't think, over the radio.
Yeah.
But Crofty said as well, Yuki said the car is so nervous, and Crofty immediately came out, I'm not surprised, that car's caused 4 red flags this year.
Yeah.
Blimey, Crofty, you're not stopping, are you?
Do you know what? Your mum used to have a cushion, didn't she?
In the car, yeah.
For when she had a high thing, she used to sit on a cushion. Anybody thought of actually putting a cushion underneath his race seat so he's a bit higher?
That could work a bit more, yeah.
I mean, not an actual cushion,
Like
but
more foam.
like more foam
Yeah.
between him and the seat.
That could work it a bit.
So it raises his view a bit, because I feel that Tsunoda's big problem is that he can't see over the steering wheel well.
Yeah, because it's quite a long way down towards turn 1, isn't it?
I love it. I love when he have you damaged your wing?
Oh, for God's sake!
How
Hang
can
on.
I
Yeah,
see
go on.
it?
I'm sorry.
I can't see it.
Car development, season progress. That is rubbish. Red Bull are still the fastest car in Formula 1, not the Mercedes. Mercedes is not the fastest car in Formula 1. Red Bull are. I can tell you that right now.
What did I tell you about statistics?
They're all wrong. This is AWS. They're going wrong. Are you telling me that Williams has lost time when they've ever since the season break they've gone forward?
What can you do with statistics if you ask the right question and
That's wrong.
Do the right bulletin, the right plan, right? You can make the table
Whatever you
do
like.
whatever you like.
AWS, of course.
It's
Sponsored
season
by Mercedes.
progress, average time gained or lost prior to this event.
Well, that's wrong. Mercedes are not the fastest car in Formula 1.
That doesn't. It says gap
Spinner!
to the fastest.
Lando. Hang on, that's under.
I've just crashed. Okay.
Lando's crashed coming into the pit
coming
lane.
into the pits.
How's he done that?
I want to see that again. How's he spun like that?
He must have hit it. That's out of turn 8. That's out of turn 17, isn't it? So he must have hit the accelerator and just locked the rears.
Other Landos are available, by the way.
Lando Calrissian to begin with. Who he's named after. He's named after Lando Calrissian from Star Wars. I mean,
that shows how young he is.
Yeah. That shows how much his parents are fan of Star
Star
Wars. Yeah.
Star Trek is also a good thing.
The Orville recently I've been getting into that. That's great. The Orville again.
Oh, you?
He's broken the front wing.
There's no. There's no new Orvilles yet, is there?
The 10th of March, 2022.
Will they be on
That's
Disney
season
Plus?
3. Yes, it will be. Yeah. Let's have a look. So he's coming into the pit lane, presses the accelerator, just loops round on him.
Yeah, it's just the back end going. But at that speed, it shouldn't.
No, that's a weird one.
That's
that one.
weird. Anyway, Sciencey has never seen a Marvel film.
No, he hasn't, has he?
The rear just locked or something.
It looked like that.
Rear locks, yeah.
Yeah,
like
you've got to look at the brakes there, haven't you?
And he's damaged the front wing. He's broken it.
Also, the other thing is he hasn't ever seen a Marvel film.
I know. Yesterday he said
right?
Batman was his favourite Superman.
And then what? Not only in the break did Pierre go to Euro Disney in Paris, right? But he has the Disney Plus subscription,
like us as well. That's what I like. Yeah, he's got a Disney Plus subscription, so he's been watching things as well. To be fair, I think everybody can agree Disney Plus. It's not for kids. It's not for kids. It's for adults because of all the things on it as well. You've got all the Marvel movies. You've got all the Simpsons, American Dad, Family Guy, all that sort of thing as well.
It replaced the Disney Channel in this country.
It's got America's Star Channel.
Yeah, well, Disney owned that.
Yeah, but I'm just waiting until Torture and Miracle Day ends up on there because that was a BBC America and Star cross production. So I'm just waiting until Torture ends up on Disney Plus.
BBC America is full of Star Trek at the moment.
Yes, yeah, and Star Trek's now on
Next Generation,
as well, yeah.
Voyager, and
well, that's coming back as well with Picard, isn't it? And Janeway's coming back in animated form.
I like is it not Freeform? Where the classics. I was watching the Golden Girls the other day on the classic channel.
Yeah.
TV Land, is it? Yeah, TV Land.
Yeah, TV Land.
Yeah.
Let's go through the results then. It's Bottas.
Next on The Young and the Beautiful.
Is that what you've been watching? Oh, right. Bottas is top on a 134.427. And then it is Hamilton, Verstappen, Leclerc, Vettel, top 5. Gasly, Sainz, Norris, Perez, and Alonso, top 10. Ocon, Stroll, Giovinazzi, Ricciardo, Raikkonen, Tsunoda, Russell, Latifi, Mazepin, and Schumacher. We haven't even talked about Raikkonen's back in Formula 1 after contracting COVID. He finished that session 15. So much more going on. 12:50 British Summer Time as well. We'll be back for practice 2. Megan's alongside me for that one. Practice 3 tomorrow at 9:50. Yeah. Qualifying coming your way 12:40. That's 10 10 minutes after the start of Sky F1. Sky F1 on later due to F2 and F3's races as well. Join us 12:30 on Sunday for all the racing action. Don't forget, we've also got British Touring Car Championship and the IndyCar season finale with the championship being crowned there as well. What do you make of that session there? It was quite quick, but a lot of drivers out there because of rain tomorrow.
I think it was typical practice one session.
Yeah.
I do feel that if you've got a bit of worry, it's you were trying two different things at Red Bull.
Yeah.
Perez's didn't work at all.
No, he's way down.
Until they changed the mode, Verstappen never worked either. As soon as he changed the mode to 12, it went brilliantly. In fact, he got fastest lap next lap.
Do you want to, I think as well, Verstappen's fastest time sat on the soft tyres. Both Mercedes, fastest lap on the hard tyres. That is just ridiculous at the moment as well. All to play for then. We'll be back later on for free practice 2. But from FP1, it's Bottas gets first blood here at the Russian Grand Prix. Bye for now.